Welcome to RAIN, the Real Estate Investor Growth Network with your hostess, Jen Josie. Join like-minded real estate investors and accelerate your business towards greatness. You will hear step-by-step strategies for success, interviews with real estate rock stars, and we will dig deep into past projects where we bear it all, including the good, the bad, and some just plain ugly. So get excited. Here's the bestower of badassery herself, the real Jen Josie. Listener discretion is advised.
Hi, and welcome back. I'm Jen Josie, creator of RAIN, the Real Estate Investor Growth Network. Whoop, whoop. On today's episode, we have a guest that will be sharing one of their past projects. We will let you decide if it was good or bad or just plain ugly. But before we begin, here's today's badassery bestowment, my little badass gift to you. Today's topic is the power of vision boards. Every year about this time, I start to work on my vision board for the upcoming year. These visual tools are not just about pasting images or words on a board. They are a manifestation of your goals and aspirations in the real estate world. By visually representing what you aim to achieve, whether it's the types of properties you want to invest in or the financial goals you wish to attain, a vision board keeps you motivated and focused. Regularly seeing your goals in a tangible form helps keep them at the forefront of your mind, reinforcing your commitment to them. This constant reminder can be especially beneficial in real estate, where the journey can be filled with challenges and distractions. A vision board serves as a daily prompt to keep pushing forward, stay aligned with your objectives, and make decisions that bring you closer to your real estate dreams. So remember, a well-crafted vision board is a powerful tool for turning your investment aspirations into reality. Now, on to today's episode of the Real Estate Investor Growth Network podcast. We have with us RAIN member and total badass, Sina Samii. Sina is trained in the field of dairy cattle nutritional biochemistry and metabolomics. He was a scientist and researcher for animal nutrition and the feed industry before moving to become an agribusiness entrepreneur. Less than 2 years ago, he got his real estate license and joined the Homeschooled by Tarek program to learn about real estate investing. Today, we are going to be discussing his first flip in the DC area. I have had the pleasure of watching Sina grow his real estate business in the short time I've known him. It is my honor to have him on the show, so welcome, Sina.
Hello, Jen. I really appreciate it. Awesome. I'm happy and it's honored that I'm here, and I'm just want to share my experience, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Sina, I am honored to have you on here. I've been wanting to hear about this project, and you even had to push me out like a month or so, and I'm just chomping at the bit to hear about this. This was such a cool renovation. So I don't want to give too much away here, but before we get into that, I had no idea all this biochemistry and metabolomics, which I had to practice that word multiple times before we started. I hope I said it correctly. So tell me about this agribusiness entrepreneurship you have going on.
All right, Jenna. So I've been in agribusiness for almost 20 years, mainly the science part. So I love it. And that's my passion. I love agriculture, science, and also real estate. So that's why I just want to follow my path. After being in the industry for a while, then I decided to start my own startup part. So it's coming. And I believe agriculture, we will see the revolution in agriculture within a decade. So that's why I'm very excited about that.
And what I love about you is you are extremely passionate about this industry, and you are not looking to become a full-time real estate investor. Is that correct?
Not a full-time real estate investor, but I just want to have what I'm thinking is that, like, when I grow my business in agriculture, the money that I can get, I can put in real estate. So real estate is very powerful in terms of asset appreciation, tax deduction, and eventually I want to have my real estate automated. So buy and hold, just rent it out, and also have a system in place for like flipping properties. So not too much involved as long as I have a good partner and then project manager. So I'll just expand that territory in my real estate part.
And I think it's important to bring this up because there's many listeners out there who love what they do. They love their W-9, W-2, whatever job that they have, their 9 to 5 job. They love it and they don't want to give it up, but they are interested in creating this legacy through real estate. And I think that is so fantastic. And you know, what you're doing, many people are so afraid to do because they feel like it's going to take up so much time. So while we're going through this past project, I would love for you to share how you kind of balanced your time as well when you're going through this.
Sure, Jen. Actually, it's balancing. I don't know. I'm not sure about the term balance. It's a hard thing, you know. Just you got to go through and just make a decision, and then you spend hours. You know, it's not easy. There's no easy way for that. So just need to figure out and juggle around the time, and then be flexible. And I have a right system. That's what I would say, that how you can manage it. And I'm not master of that. I'm trying to learn as I go through it. I'll learn. I just adjust and I keep moving forward. That's how I did it.
I love it. Well, let's dive into this project. So tell us about this property. When you found it, how many beds and baths did it have? What attracted you to this project? Was there any crazy aspect to the actual where it was located? So tell us about the property.
Right, Jen. So this property, I really like about it because it was in a great location in DC. It's just really sought after location. So how I found it is just through the realtor. So when I just like 2 years ago, I just got my realtor license. 1.5 years ago, I just introduced to Home School by Tarek, and then because I wanted to go through the investment part, so I just get through all the training, great experience. Then at one time, I was talking with the realtor. Now he's my friend, but then we just get to know each other. And I said, "Hey, Sina, I have a property, and I don't know what to do. I just want to sell it, but I'm not sure. Maybe we can do something about it." He knew that I was going through the investment program, and I wanted to do it at the same time. So we just went there. We look at the property. And I thought that, hey, this one is good. I got to do it. And that's how it worked. And if you do remember, Jen, we were in California, and then you were sitting next to me, and then we had a conversation. You said, "Sina, you got to do it. You got to do it. Just push it." And then a few months later, and
I totally remember that conversation too. I'm like, "Wait, you have this amazing deal. Why are you not buying it?" And you're like, and you went for it. So, and you know what though? And I'm glad you brought that up because so many people go through that. They think, "Oh, this could be such a good deal," but they're just afraid to push through it. So thank you for bringing that up. What made you to, besides me saying, "What the hell are you doing, Sina?" Really, what projected you to go ahead and get this project?
Right. So the reason I decided to pull the trigger is that, first of all, the location was really good. So I knew that if I go through that, even if I don't make money, I mean, what's the worst case scenario? I just go there, raise the money. At worst case scenario, I won't make any money. Okay, right. But it would be great. That was my first experience flipping the property, so I will learn a ton. And then I had the realtor that we just partner with each other, and he had like 20 years of experience, more than 20 years as a realtor, and he did some flip. So I said, hey, that would be a great experience. I'm not going to go alone. And I was getting a training, great coaches. So I said, hey, I got to do it. I mean, this is the time I got to do it. And I pulled the trigger.
Perfect. So tell us about the property. How many beds and baths, square footage, year it was built, et cetera?
So it was built in 1938. It's in a Spring Valley area in DC. So people who live in DC, they know that's a great location. And then it's 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, and then the square footage is almost 1,700. So it's great. And then we just started doing a renovation. It's a full gut job, right? So then we start from everything because it's an old property. And that's how we did it. So we can talk about then working with the contractors, and we can just, yeah.
Yeah. So before we get to that, what was the asking price, and then what did you end up getting it for?
So that's a great question. So,
so it starts. Here we go.
It starts. So what we did is that we did a profit sharing or profit partnering. Some people say that novation. I'm not sure it's a novation. But it was technically is a profit partnering with the owner. So the owner, if he decided to sell the property as is with the condition it did have, so it would be just maybe he could sell it like less than 1 million. So what we did is say, hey, we will just give you 1.1 after we sell the property. So you receive 1.1 million, and I knew when we go through that location, we did go through the numbers, how much it costs, and I will tell you that. I mean, that's the rehab costs change a lot when we did it. But it's just it's
I
two
laugh because
prices, three times more.
that never happens. It never changes. All right, keep going. I'm sorry.
So 1.1, we just came agreement with him and say, hey, we will give you 1.1 at the end of the day, at the end of the closing, and also 10% of the profit. So that's how it worked, and it was great because then I didn't need to raise capital to pay him 1 million, and just only focus a private money lender to pay the rehab costs. So that was a great deal for all of us.
So, Sina, this is genius. P.S. And you did not learn this from me because I don't know about novate. I've never done a novation. I know very little to be dangerous, but how do you legally set up something like this? Because you are explaining to this homeowner, hey, you want this, I'm going to give you this, and I'm going to give you 10% of the profit if you move out and let me start renovating your house. So how did you legally bind all of that and make, because it kind of scares the hell out of me thinking about it, but I'm sure you had an attorney or how did that work?
Yes. So we had an attorney. So attorney drafted the contract. And then the good thing is that the realtor has the great relationship with the owner. They have been friends for many years, like 20 years. So that was not a problem. So it's about relationship stuff. And then we had a good contract, everything laid down on that. So it's pretty clear that after it's done, you get 1.1 plus the 10% profit. So it was a great deal for him. And he wasn't living there. He was living in North Carolina. And his property actually a realtor's son lived there. So he just moved. And then it was very easy to do that. So, and again, so to your question, just you need to have a right attorney to understand the situation, draft the right contract. And also you need to have a relationship with the owner to explain it well. That's how it worked, and it was a no-brainer. He made more money than even if he wanted to do it as is.
Absolutely, and it's genius to me. And this is your first real estate deal, and here you are getting it with no money down. So, how did you pay for renovations?
So for renovation, here's a situation for renovation. So we thought that it cost 120K after we just sitting, and that's a lesson for me because I was sitting with a realtor. We just go through that, and then I was solely relying on a realtor. So he's a great friend of mine, but I learned my lesson that I gotta go through what I learned from through Homeschool by Tarek. Literally go through everything detailed. So it was 120K, but it just turned out to be 3 times more. I'll tell you later. Yeah, it was stressful. It was really stressful. But how I raised the money, again, it comes back to good education. I firmly believe that you get a good foundation, educational stuff, when you want to do real estate. So in everything, in any field, you need to get the right education. So I had my business credit. So I leveraged my business credit. And also, I got through the non-secure line of credit. I raised the capital through non-secure line of credit, which that there was a guy who came in a Homeschool by Tarek, talked about how to raise capital through non-secure. So I did that part. And then remaining, I go after a private money lender. And that's how I raised that. So it's just how to manage it. So in that case, you don't pay a lot to a private money lender, but get enough money to do the rehab.
So just curious, and I'm, getting in the weeds here, but with your private money lender, was it an unsecured loan as well? Or did you have them as a second, how did that work?
That's another strange thing is that the private money lender is a family of mine. So It's just really close. So I didn't need to technically go through promissory note and deed of trust, all this stuff. It's just that trust was there, and it's a family relationship. Obviously, he knows that. I mean, he knew me for a long time, so there was no problem going there. It's just a little bit hard for me to raise capital multiple times from him because I had to explain it. Hey, this is it. It costs more. As we moved through the project, it was a full gut job, so the expenses just keep going up and up. So yeah, and I can tell you the stress of that one. It was too much.
I hate to laugh, but I know what this project ended up looking like. So I find it humorous because you did an amazing job on this project. And so all right, going back to the beginning,
Yep.
You estimated repairs were going to be about 120,000. And you used your repair estimator you walked through, or you were just trusting what the realtor was telling you at that point?
So we walked through, actually, I looked at the property and I went through that with the realtor, but I was just relying on his expertise. But then when it comes down to the project, then we were talking with the contractor and everything, then it just every minute things go up. And then we have changes, right? So we have changes for basement. Literally, we changed the basement, and we have changes. It was an old property. We decided to change the deck, and things just keep changing the fences. So prices go up because we thought that it worth it because of the location.
Right.
So, yeah.
And understood. And I get that. It's like I can spend 20,000 to make another 50,000. So I'm with you on that with doing particular upgrades. So what was your estimated repairs at time of purchase was going to be around 120. What was your estimated ARV? And ARV is your after repair value. So what was your estimated after repair value?
Right. For the after repair value, the estimated after repair value was like 1,452,000. I mean, close to 1.5 million. That was our expectation.
Okay.
But things get changed, so it's getting better and better. The location getting hotter. I was just surprised. I mean, that location just keep going up and up. So when I was going through the project, I was worried about the rehab costs, but at the same time, I was looking at the properties that came into the market. It's just going up. So I said, okay, no worries. What's the worst case scenario? I would just not make money, but I don't lose any money, and I learn a ton during the project. So you gotta take a risk.
Well said. Very well said. So you have your estimated repairs, your estimated ARV. What was your estimated time frame?
Yeah, the time frame, we thought that it would be done by 3 months, but it took 3.5 months. And,
really?
And we lost 2 weeks. I'm pissed because if we could go to the market 2 weeks earlier, we would make 50 to 100K more. But then we were just in a fine line. So if we pass one more week, we will make less than what we expected. So that's how it.
Sina, you did a full gut job in 3.5 months?
Correct. Yes. We started late February and we're done in March, April, May. Yeah, June.
Good for you. That's impressive right there. I wish we could get projects done quicker. So very, very impressive that you did that. Do you crack a whip? Is that what you do?
I wish I Yeah, we have a good, here's the thing. We have excellent contractors. I mean, they did an amazing job, A+ contractor. At the same time, I had contractor that just gave me a headache. So I had to come back home and use an Advil because I really got a headache from the guy. It's just like, push it too hard. And we have few delays, but I mean, they didn't show up on Saturday or Sunday, some of them. That's why I said that we could be done by 3 months, not 3.5 months. But then we lost 2 weeks because of some, not really dedicated contractor.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I lost 5 months during COVID waiting on damn windows. So 2 weeks, suck it up, Buttercup, because that is nothing. Welcome to real estate. Count your blessings on that, because I can remember we were trying to get our framing inspection passed, and you can't do it without the windows in there. And our project literally sat for 5 months. That was painful. All right, so you're not paying interest payments while this is going on. So everything that you are paying to the homeowner, which is 10% your profit share, which is genius again. Then you have your private money lender, and then you took out some lines of credit. So what was about your interest that you were planning on that you were paying?
So I paid the private money lender, I paid 10%. Okay. That was the interest rate. And then for non-secured line of credit and business credit, because it was the first year, so basically leverage is 0 interest. So that's a great thing. It's technically you don't pay any interest for that. I just pay the balance, and then it's because it's less than a year, you just pay the balance and then you keep moving. As long as you know that you don't pass the limit. So that's how you manage it between non-secured line of credit and business credit. That's how I did it.
Wonderful. And such a great nugget for listeners out there. So, all right, you get the property under contract, and now you're starting to do the work. Any surprises happened during the renovation? So, Your budget was $120,000, and then it went, you said 3 times that?
Yeah, 334K at the end. And yeah, we had surprises. So we have an interior designer. She was basically she was a mom of the realtor. She's been in business for 50 years. She's really good, but then she just want to make it better. So the expenses just keep going up and up and up, and then that's how it worked. And then we had a problem with the master bath, and just gave me a little bit of almost heart attack, because 2 days before closing, we saw the leaking. And imagine the pressure, because we're going to close, and then we saw the leaking, and then think about the contractor.
Wait, 2 days before closing to sell it, or 2 days before closing?
Sorry, not the closing. 2 days before open house. Sorry, 2 days before open house, we saw the problem in the master bath, and then oh my God, that was a big problem. And then suddenly the contractor doesn't even want to show up. He just left. He just left the property, and then because my realtor, I mean my partner, with the contract, they have like a little bit have a hard talk with each other. The contractor just left, and then we're just there. Oh my God, how to fix that one? So it was a big surprise. So then the inspection guy came. They look at it and then say, oh, obviously you need to work on your master bath. Then it costs $12,000 again to just redo and make it complete. So extra cost, extra pressure, and unnecessary pressure. If the first contractor did the job well, then we didn't go through that.
And so the new contractor came in and had to undo everything that contractor did, correct? Yes. That's so frustrating.
It was pain.
All right. So now you get it on the market. How long, and what do you end up listing it for? Because I know you said, and that is the fun part of, purchasing in areas that are constantly growing. And that's huge. And we have little spots in Raleigh. In fact, we just bought another one. But I know, I don't want to do any more single family homes. And then I'm like, all right, I'll buy it. But we have little pockets like that as well, where things just keep going up and up and up. And so you originally wanted to list it for about 1.452. So what did you list it for?
So yes, that's correct. So we listed 1.688. I don't know why my friend put it 88. We could put it 90, but anyway, he put it 1.688. And can I say the after repair value? I mean the offer, or now it's not right time to say it?
So we'll get. So you have it listed, and yes. I wanted to know the listing price. How many offers did you have come in, and how long was it on the market before you started getting offers?
Sure. It was like 4 days. It was because again the location. I firmly believe location.
Huge.
It's just like huge. And just 4 days, we got the offer, and we received 2 solid offers. One of them was cash offer, so we decided to go with that one.
All right, and what was the offer?
It was 1.620.
Okay, very good. So a little under asking.
Over asking. Sorry, 720. Over asking. 1.720.
Woo!
30 over asking.
Oh my goodness! All right, so I had written down 1.68. Okay, so. Very, very good, Sina. And so what did you, all right, let's go. I'm so excited about this property. So estimated repairs were $120,000. You ended up doing $334,000 in repairs.
Right. Yeah.
Do you remember what you paid in interest?
For the private money lender, you mean?
For your private money lender, for your business line of credit loan?
The business line, everything is just like, for private money lender is 10%. That's it. The non-secured line of credit, everything for 1 year, you technically don't pay any interest. You just only, if you go through that company for a non-secured line of credit, you can raise 50, 60K, and then they will charge you 10% of that. So you pay like $5,000, $6,000 for that.
Okay. So you were paying 10% of the $334,000. Is that what you borrowed from your private money lender?
No, I borrowed from private money lender. I borrowed 220, something like that.
Got it.
And I paid that 10% over the course of 4 or 5 months. I mean, I just don't know the calculation, but it came like 11,000. I gave it to him. I would just I gave it a little bit more because I felt that, he was so supportive to go multiple times. So, just, you got to take care of that. You got to take care of your private money lender. Private money lender, I will lose money. I will take care of my private money lender because it's very important. Build a relationship and take care of them.
Huge what you are saying, because it's your private money lenders that are going to keep your business up and running. And I love that you tacked on a little extra on there for everything that they went through. I think that is fantastic, because when they win, you win, and you got to keep your business going. So that's excellent nugget there. All right, so you have this over offer. Was there anything from when they put it under contract to the inspection that they had to go through? Did you have to do anything before you ended up closing?
Master bath. So the problem with the master, we had a little bit of moisture in the basement, so it was not a big problem. We fixed that one quickly. But the master bath, it cost $12,000. Just literally buy another tile, remove all the tile, all the things. $12,000. Just redo that one. But it's worth it. It is what it is. That's a business. It's really good.
Yes, it is. Oh my goodness, that hurts though, having to do that. So we went through all of our numbers here, and our sale price. What was the actual sale price? Did you have to come down in price at all?
No.
You paid for those repairs. You didn't do like a credit or anything. Okay.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
it sold for 1.7 what?
20. Yep.
All right. And drum roll. What was your total? I don't have a drum roll sound.
Right.
What was your total profit earned on this project?
Total profit earned is close to 128.
128,000. I do have that sound. That was very not exciting there. But Sina, oh my gosh, for your first project out of the gate, I am so very impressed. And by the way, can you give the address of this so people can look at it? Because this was gorgeous. So can you give us the address of the property?
Sure. The address is 4847 Sedgwick Street, Northwest DC.
And I am telling you, it was absolutely gorgeous. So what were some of the lessons you learned going through this project?
I learned a lot. I mean, it was like a full education because a full gut job. So first of all, you need to hire right people, right contractors. I mean, I experienced both sides. The A plus contractor really go smooth. I was happy. He was fair. I felt that he reduced a lot of pressure. But then the B contractor or maybe C contractor, oh boy, it just gives you a hard time. So I learned my lesson, always build home school at Target with all the coaches, just build, they all told us, just build a good team. And it really, for all the business, you need to have A plus team because that's how it works. You can delegate the job. And that's how I learned that I have to do that. I have to go through all the process, not just only relying on my partner. I have to go through the process, make sure that I'm bringing the right contractor. That's what I learned. And also the second thing I learned, make sure that when you do the joint venture and then you bring the partner and we work with each other, everything is written down in a crystal clear expectation. And I learn it now in my future adventure. I'm just like, Rose and all the, we're doing a partnership with each other. So everything is just crystal clear for me because just write it down. What's your expectation? What's your job? So you don't end up spend more hours than what you expected because you're running a other business. So you cannot just do both at the same time. So that's what I learned.
I am not a fan of joint ventures just for that reason, and that it sounds exhausting to me to have to go through and like assign everything to everyone. I'd rather just do it myself and be done with it, or hire the right people to do it. So sure. I love that you brought that up. And going back to the contractors, how do you find good contractors? Do you have any nuggets to share with the listeners on how you ended up or where not to find contractors?
Basically I got it through the realtor. He had the list of contractors, so he brought it, and I was just like, again, relying on his expertise, and I'm fully trusted that all the contractors are great, but obviously some of them like A plus, some of them not. So that's how I learned. And again, that's the learning lesson for me, that doesn't matter. I have to do the interview. I have to go through a step-by-step process to hire the right guy, because that's how make you or break you. Think about the master bath. That 8,000, that technically 8,000 to just make it. And then you redo it again, 12,000. It's just the massive pressure that you go through that.
Right.
It's just make sure that you have a right team. If you want to scale up, eventually, if you want it, that's what I learned. If I want to, that's my goal, to scale up. I need to make sure that I have a right system to hire right people. That's how you grow.
And what about your designer? It sounded like your designer drove up your prices a little bit.
So she's really good. She's been 50 years in a DC area. She's very well known here, but she has a high taste. So,
but do you think it paid off though?
I think so.
It sounds like it did, because man, that place was gorgeous. So he gave you the address. You definitely want to check it out. Go on Zillow and see those pictures. Hopefully Zillow keeps the pictures up there. But it was absolutely gorgeous, Sina. I'm so very impressed. And for people out there that are, I think my avatar, my listener for this show is on their way to work right now. They're sitting in traffic. They're frustrated. They want to quit their full-time job. What advice do you have for them about, let's just say, education? What advice do you have for them about getting started in this business?
100. That's a great question, Jen. It's 100% having a right education, and I think it's a great investment to be with the right coaches, teach you how to go through the process, learn them. Instead of you go there, do it, learn it through YouTube or through by your own, it doesn't worth it. Just go through the right program, get the right education. It will save you a lot of money, energy, headaches. So I firmly believe if you want to play the game, you got to pay the game. You got to pay for it.
I love that.
That's how it works. And having great coaches, I would say I would appreciate Dave Augustine. He helped me a lot, and you and all the people in the Almost Go by Tarek. I had experience with all of you guys. You're awesome, great coaches. Each of you bring something new to the table, and you learn. Just keep learning, and then you add it up, and then at the end you got to pull the trigger. You got to go in. There is no way that there's no guarantee out there. You might lose money, but if you do your own thing right and you go through the system step by step, hopefully that's a probability. So you reduce the chance of losing money and increase the chance of making more money. So just do it. But again, if you want to do it, you got to do it. You cannot just sit there in a sideline. As I do remember, Jen, you told me, "Hey, Sina, you got to do it. Go ahead and do it." I felt the pressure, Jen. A few months after that, I did it. So you're right. You got to do it. And there's no easy way out. You just go through it.
And I'm going to end this first part of the podcast with a story in that you and I have very similar beginnings, in that I had a coach kick me in the ass and say, "Jen, what are you doing? Put an offer on the place." And that was, I don't know if you remember the story, but I was at an event with two of my coaches, and I was telling them the story about, I found this property off Craigslist, and they're like, "Well, how much is it?" And I said, "Well, he wants like $56,000. And they're like, "Why don't you have this under contract yet?" They're like, "Go call him right now." And I literally was like walking out to the street, because we're viewing properties. And as I'm walking away, they're like, "Jen, don't forget, everything is negotiable." So I'm like, okay, everything is negotiable. So I ended up getting under contract, but same thing. I was like, I just needed that one last little push. And, shout out to Coach Dave Augustine, who was your coach. He's a good friend, and he is so good at the whole business foundation, which I can see is very evident in how you have gone through this whole process. And so shout out to Coach Dave on that. But thank you so much for sharing this. We're going to go into the second part of the podcast, which what makes Sina a badass, which you clearly are, and you're a RAIN member. Whoop, whoop. So we're going to use the acronym BADASS, and the first letter is B for book. What's a book that's made a huge difference in your life?
I like that last part that you just go through everything, like book and everything. So I'm an avid reader. So I believe reading, there are a lot of great books, obviously. So for every entrepreneur, you said I reach that, pour that, that's one thing. But there are some of them that I like for my agriculture field. I would say that Moolahs. It's really revolutionary by Jim Mellon, actually, who was a writer of a book 2003 who predicted the crisis, like global crisis. That's
Oh,
guy.
wow.
This guy is brilliant. Jim Mellon. He wrote 7 books. He's a great guy. He's a great investor. But that's one point. But the other one, I just finished a book, Wealth Without Cash from Pace Morby.
Okay.
I highly recommend. I highly recommend. You just learn a ton about the creative finance, because the creative finance, I would say that it's a future. It's another tool in your toolbox to just be more competitive. So I highly recommend that book. And also the Traction book. It's very important. And then Michael Gerber, if you want to really think about scaling up. And
E-Myth.
those are the books I highly recommend. And the last one I would say that I'm just reading is Who, the book named Who. It's called the A method, just capital A, the A method of hiring. So that's come down to, if you want to build your team, you need to have a right system to build to just hire an A+ player. So it's called Who by Smart and Randy Street, something like that. That's a great book.
Excellent. You gave a whole bunch of great nuggets there. And the E-Myth, you mentioned Michael Gerber, but you didn't say the title of it. So E-Myth, and then there's also E-Myth for Real Estate Investing, which was co-written by Than Merrill and Paula Sagan, who ran my education program that we did. So I'm a big believer in all those. Excellent. Great books. All right. The first A in Badass is for advice. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received besides Jen Josie saying, get it under contract already?
Yes, that was a good one. Really. I felt it. So the great, I mean, I received a lot of great advice in my life, but I would say the one that hits me hard with my father when I was in high school, he told me that one of the most valuable assets is time, because time when you lose it, you cannot get it back. And so that one really hits me hard. And again, with this technology that we have, we cannot really regenerate cell. We're not in that level, or we just go to the nitrogen tank to live for 30 years, come back. So we don't have. Maybe in future we can go back and come back with the extra time, but we don't have it. So right now, time is the most valuable asset. So use it right and push it. Just take a risk and take every opportunity in your timeline, because at the end of the day, we're just all gone. So let's use that time, because time is the most valuable asset.
It is a very valuable asset. Thank you for sharing that one. All right. The D in Badass is for drive. What drives Sina to be successful?
Yeah, I mean, I had my baby like a month ago. So yeah, it's just like a big motivation, my wife and my kids. So those are the things I just want to make sure that they're protected, they're in a right place. And that's really drives me moving forward. And definitely, that's for sure.
Oh, well, congratulations. And your baby's name is?
It's Sam. So Sam, what in English is a Persian name, Saam. So you can say that Sam, but it's one extra A technically.
Got it. Well, lovely. And congratulations. All right. The second A in Badass is for aspiration. I'm a big goal setter. So what is a goal you are currently working on?
So obviously for agricultural part, I have that big project that we're working in, and hopefully we're going to go to sell agriculture and all the things. That's for agriculture side. For real estate, I want to have 4 flip for next year, and then 2 buy and hold. And eventually my goal is to be going through the multi-unit part, because then I believe that buy and hold strategy, just renting and passive income, and keep growing your portfolio. And again, asset appreciation, tax deduction. So that's how I see the real estate side, grow that side for myself.
Huge. And we talked about this briefly at the beginning, but what do you do as far as, and the next one is for systems. So maybe we'll save this for the next one, but I do want to know how you can flip a house while working a 9-to-5 job, or is your job considered 9-to-5?
Yeah, it's more than 9 to 5, because it's entrepreneurship. You got to just spend more hours an hour. But again, I just write down everything, and I just make sure that I have a right schedule and everything. But for real estate, I would say that for a system, I was using the REI reply. I felt that it's good, but now
what is it called?
REI reply.
Okay.
But then Chris, Chris is a good friend of mine. He has the automation, and then he basically take it to the next level. So that one is very systematic. So the lead generation, follow up, then closing, dispo, all in a right system. So I'm considering to use that one for my for 2024, and also Deal Machine. I really enjoy Deal Machine.
Nice.
Just going through that. But there's some glitch in the system, but still, I'll recommend that if you want to do door knocking and driving for dollars.
Okay. So any other systems before we go to the final S here?
No, not really.
And Deal Machine, I like Deal Machine too, and they've done a lot of changes recently, I know. So shout out to the Deal Machine folks. But I always felt like a bit of a stalker, like when you're driving for dollars and you're like, ooh, I really like this house. And you're kind of in front of the house. You're like, get off my lawn, So it's like... or like people are honking behind me. So I felt a little panicked doing Deal Machine, but yeah, they have great stuff. So, all right. The final S in badass here is for success. What does success mean to you?
Yeah, that's a really great question. And I would say that, yes, of course, financial freedom and support my family, also raising a good kid, someone who contributed to the community and who's a good person. That's very important. But all in all, after you just financial freedom and securing and protecting your family, I think the next one for me, just going next, is just the impact, because again, the time is short and we'll just come to this earth and we move on. But then the impact. So I want to have an impact, a positive impact, positive contribution, not only local, but global. That's what I'm thinking success. So at the end of the day, I don't want to come back and say, oh, I missed the opportunity. I don't want to miss any opportunity. I might lose it, but at least I don't have any regret, and I can see myself in the mirror, say, I don't have any regret. So that's I would say that the impact, the positive impact, I would say I would consider success.
Well, you have had a positive impact on me, and I am so grateful to call you friend. And thank you so much for sharing everything on the show today. What if people have questions? They want to know, gosh, I have my full-time job. I don't know how to balance things, or what's a good way for the listeners to find you if they want to ask you anything?
Sure, Jen. So I have my LinkedIn site, so they can easily. I can be reached out through LinkedIn. I also have my website and Instagram I share with you, but the easiest way is just through LinkedIn.
Through LinkedIn. Perfect. Well, Sina, thank you so much for being on the show today. This was great. And I mean, it took me long enough to get you on here, but I am thrilled that you came on to discuss this project. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Jen. You are awesome. You're a great coach.
You are awesome.
I want to tell you that everybody loves you. You are a great coach, great attitude. And just keep doing what you're doing. And again, I appreciate the opportunity for today. Thank you so much.
I'll pay you later for that one. And that is all. Thank you for listening, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Now go out there and share your badassery. And don't forget, make it a great day. Take care. Bye-bye. Whoop, whoop.
Thank you for listening to RAIN, the Real Estate Investor Growth Network. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcasting platform so you never miss an episode. If you need more badassery, you can follow Jen Josie by visiting therealjenjosie.com or become a member of RAIN by registering on rainmastermind.com.